Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me live from Los Angeles, California. I am Sherman D. Manning from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Atlanta born, I'm Atlanta bred. When I die, I'll be Atlanta dead. I sure wish I could make it back to Atlanta today to go and see about my daddy, James Scott Manning. If you know the word of prayer, pray for him. He needs it. He needs it. Pray for him today. Ask God for a miracle. I am Sherman D. Manning. If you see the guy running for president by the name of Donald, just tell him I said, let me see. If you happen to come across Donald, just let him know that people are thinking about him. There's some scary times out there right now on the planet, and national security and international security has to be quite alarming for most of us if we have any sense about the world. And we got to be very careful about who we give the code to the nuclear arsenal of the most powerful country on the face of the planet in these scary times. And you don't want to give them to a nutcase like Donald, to a pathological pervert, to a rapist, a racist, and a pedophile, because those are all the things that Donald is. Point blank, exclamation point. Tell him that I said it. If he's not, tell him to file a lawsuit against me and sue me. I call him a pathological liar. I call him a weasel, a pervert, just an average, older, white guy who's balding, has no hair. Fortunately for him, I guess, has enough money to buy some, and the audacity and the temerity to sit up and look you straight in the face and tell you that it's actually his. And probably small penis complex. And I hate to go there, but I'm in that kind of mood today. I'm raw, and people like him get on my nerves, my last nerve, to have the audacity to stand up before the American people and claim you want to be commander in chief when you can't even command your own personal discipline and tame your own tongue and learn when to speak and when not to speak, what to say and how to say it. And that is Donald. He is a buffoon to the highest tune, on the highest level. And I think, quite frankly, what he needs is a lesson in humility. I want to encourage every American to go out and vote. If you're not registered, get registered right now. If they can still register you anywhere, because if you don't vote, you don't count. Vote as you please, but please vote. If you don't vote, you don't count. If the 99% were to exercise their power, the 1% would have no power. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? So vote, 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 vote. I want to recommend that you go and get a copy of a compelling book. It is compelling according to O.J. Simpson attorney Bob Blazier, who was on the initial dream team that acquitted O.J. on 2 counts of murder. Bob Blazier says you should get the new book called The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. This book is by Sherman D. Manning, which is me. Get it at local bookstores. Get it at Amazon.com. It's called The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. It is not just about OJ, but it is also about the no J's. I want you to get that book. And according to Attorney Blazier, it is a compelling book. He claims it is riveting. He says it is well written, and he says it is a very, very unique book. And by the grace of God, Bob Blazier calls me a master writer. And I'm humbled by that, and I thank God for that. So go get that book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice, by yours truly, Sherman D. Manning. I want to recommend a couple of other books for you to get. Get Creating Monsters. It is a very, very powerful book, if you ask me. And I say that humbly. I wrote that book years ago. It's back by popular demand. It is back on Amazon.com. Everybody's been asking about it. I got my producers and my agents to get it back on this week. It's freshly out again and republished, and it is out there. I didn't revise it or do anything to it. I just left it as it is. Leave it be, as they say. If you look at the cover of the book, you'll know that you should be reading that book. It's called Creating Monsters. Also, you want to get From the Palace to the Prison by me. You want to get The Truth About O.J. Simpson, which is my new book, and you want to get American Dream: A Search for Justice. Everybody's been asking about that anywhere I speak or preach, and so we're going to have that back on Amazon.com by Friday of this week. American Dream, A Search for Justice. It is also about the Monster Factory, and it tells you a lot about the criminal justice system and how it has crippled the minds of many men and many women. Get that book, get that book, get that book. Also get a book by Brian Stevenson called Just Mercy. Brian Stevenson, the book is called Just Mercy. It's been out about a year. It's an awesome, fantastic, terrific book. If you've read The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, Just Mercy, in my opinion, is actually better. And Michelle did a terrific job, and I don't mean to juxtapose her against Brian Stevenson. She's one kind of writer, and she's awesome and terrific at what she does. He is another kind of writer, and he's awesome and terrific at what he does. I suggest both books, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, and get a copy of The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander if you're not read that yet. And also, don't forget to get The Truth About O.J. Simpson by Sherman D. Manning. Get Creating Monsters by Sherman D. Manning. Get From the Prison to the Palace. And if you want to just get two books in one, get my book called Don't Mess with Texas. If you get Don't Mess with Texas, you get From the Prison to the Palace for free. And also get American Dream, A Search for Justice, which will be back out and available on Amazon.com this week. I am Sherman D. Manning, and I am supporting you in your endeavors. And I want you to know that you can bounce back from anything that you have been knocked down in. You can rise above anything. You can rise above poverty, rise above a criminal record, rise above anything that they try to put on you, rise above racism, whatever is going on in your life that is difficult to deal with and that you find yourself stalemated by, what have you, just get up and rise above it. If you think you can or you can't, one thing I've learned about life is you're right. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you are absolutely right. A setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. You can make it. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever man sow, that shall he also reap. Start sowing some good seeds. Start helping somebody else. Start blessing someone else. Start speaking someone else into their success and mentoring them into their success. Don't be jealous. Don't be narrow-minded. Don't be envious against what someone else has. Learn to appreciate and be happy for people when they get blessed. Somebody gets a new car, celebrate it with them. Celebrate it for them. Applaud them. Tell them how great it looks. Tell them how wonderful it looks. Even admit to them that if I had the money, I would get me one of those myself. Stop being a hater. I'm telling you that we have got to stop that. There's too many haters in this country. There's too many haters in the world. There's too many haters on the planet. Some folk just hate you just to be hating you. You don't have to do anything. They just hate you. I remember asking my great grandma one time, I said, why does that lady over there hate me? I said, what did I do wrong? She said, oh, son, the only thing you did wrong was you got up this morning. I said, what? She said, the fact that you got up, that you awakened from your sleep and didn't wake up dead, that's her problem with you. And so some people, the point is, some people, you don't have to do anything to them, just exist, and they're going to hate you. And the only way you can stop them from hating you is to die. And when you die, they're going to talk about you like a dog anyway. So you may as well live life and live it to the fullest and be the best that you can be at whatever you are. I told someone the other day that Martin Luther King Jr. once said, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper. Be so good that the dead, the living, and the unborn will have to say, there lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. Let me try that again. If you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper. Be so good at it that the living, the dead, and the unborn will have to say, there lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. Whatever you're going to do, be the best at it. Dream bigger than your circumstances. Dream bigger than one side of town. Dream as high as the heavens. Don't let hating brothers stop you from dreaming. Oh, God, I feel pretty good today. Remember, get out and vote, ladies and gentlemen. Get out and vote. I just wanted to ramble just a little while, and I came on with this podcast. Sherman D. Manning. Get my book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. And in that book, you'll see a lot about this Donald guy who's trying to run for president. And you'll see about his perversions and the sickness with which he has been diagnosed that he needs to get help for. Sherman D. Manning. Get my book. Tune in, sign in. Let me know.